Today, we're going to talk about the 2023 Hodge Trophy winner. We have our 10 finalists here, the 10 NCAA champions. And Mike and I are going to go through and we're going to give our commentary on who we think is most deserving of this award based on the four criteria below: record, dominance, quality of competition, and sportsmanship. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Mike, take it away.
Yeah. So I mean, first voting criteria here is the record. So there's four guys right out the gate here that all had a loss. Vito, he lost to Sam Latono, which he did avenge at NCAA's. But that being said, if record's the most important thing, then you can't really count for the guys that even though they won the title at the end of the year, they still have that loss. Yanni lost to Gomez, who didn't even All American. O'Toole avenged his loss to Carr, and Brooks lost to Marcus Coleman. So right out the gate, we're saying if you're not undefeated, then you're already out of the running.
Which
Uh,
is crazy to think because Yanni is a four-time champion. There's only five guys who have ever done that. He's never won this award, and
yeah,
I think they changed their criteria. There used to be seven
right,
criteria, and they changed it to four, I think, last year. And part of that was past year's performance, which would have give
right.
Yanni probably the biggest edge. But since that's not one of the criteria this year, I think you're right. With that one loss to Gomez, how do you put him over any of these other guys for the most dominant of the season award?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So then moving right along to dominance bonus point percentage. If you look at Nino Bonacorsi, I mean, he had a very minimal bonus point. It was like 33%. He didn't have any pins. He had one tech, six majors. Like, yeah, he's undefeated, but there's no way that he's the most dominant when he's barely getting bonus points out there. Also, Pat Glory, I'd say he's not really going to be in the mix because 44% bonus point production, that's still pretty low. I mean, you're less than half the time you're getting the bonus point wins. So just looking at those first two criteria, it's already narrowed us down to a top four. You got Andrew Alvarez, Austin O'Connor, Carter Starochi, and Mason Paris. Um, and then the quality of competition. If you look back at each of these guys' records, Andrew Alvarez, he had four wins over All Americans. Austin O'Connor had six wins over All Americans.
That
Carter Starochi
is that
had
for the whole season or
for the
just the
whole
tournament?
season, including NCAAs, and some of them were like they beat the same guy twice, but the guy did All American.
Right.
Yes, Carter Starochi had five, and Mason Paris had 10 wins
Wow.
over. So right there, I mean, you got three guys that are right there, four, five, six, and then Mason Paris is kind of making himself a little bit stand out a bit more. Um, and if
It
you,
could be from the Big Ten bias because Michigan obviously if you saw the standings of the breakout of All Americans per conference, Big Ten was by far the most All
oh
Americans
that
out of
yeah, no,
any
that's a
conference.
good point.
So
Um,
just looking at these four we have remaining, we have Michigan and Penn State are Big Ten. ACC is tough, but there's only six schools, and then what? Northern Colorado, is that Big 12? I think that's Big 12, right?
Uh, oh, I think that might be, yeah.
So that's it's a good conference too, but it's no Big Ten when comparing All American.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you look at Andrew Alvarez, he beat the guys that took second, third, and fourth at NCAAs, like in the tournament. And during the season, he only had one win over Clay Carlson. That was the only All American he wrestled before the postseason. So, I mean, that's still it's four quality wins, and he beat them all. But at the same time, that's only four guys
Right.
compared to you got five, six, and 10. And then you got to also take a look at like the sportsmanship, which is also an important aspect, making sure that you're not a poor sport here. So we're still leaving it at the four. Um,
Well, one thing about the sportsmanship, and I know it's kind of it's not it wasn't his intent, but Andrew Alvarez, he spiked his headgear in the
right,
NCAA finals, which deducted his team a point, which he was celebrating. He has every
right,
right to celebrate. but that's an unsportsmanlike point deduction for his team. So I feel
Yeah.
like he's not doing himself any favors trying to win this award when one of the four criteria is sportsmanship. So I feel like
Yeah,
that
no,
almost takes him out of
yeah,
it.
you're right. That would kind of eliminate him in the running in my book. I mean, even though he does have a really high win bonus percentage with the 71% there. I mean, the quality of the competition isn't really there, and the sportsmanship, you could argue, I mean, in that instance, could knock him right there out of the running. Um, Also, if you look at Carter Strocci, I know he has 67% win bonus percentage, but at the same time, if you listen to some of his post match interviews, he's not exactly the most gracious winner. And even if you look at just the beef he had with Donnell Washington, which was kind of confusing
Yeah, that
because
was
he
kind of
won the match pretty, I
one-sided.
think, by major. So I would say that would also knock him out of the running, which would leave us with our top two guys here, Austin O'Connor and Mason Paris, leaving them to compare the two of them. Um, but one aspect that I think is very interesting here is Paris is the only guy with over 30 wins. Out of even if you include all 10, he's the one and only guy with over 30 wins, with 33-0. He did not shy away from any competition. I mean, he beat Greg Kirkliet multiple times. He beat Tony Cassiope multiple times. He beat Wyatt Hendrickson during the season. He beat Trent Hilger. I mean, he pretty much beat, I think, almost every guy that All American. He beat Lucas Davison multiple times. Like he and the craziest thing is his NCAA semifinal. He won by tech fall.
Yeah, over
like,
Casio, but that was insane. And I was
like
just about to say he's doing all these wins with a 64% bonus point
yeah, he
percentage.
may be have a lower than some of these other guys, but like he's
Yeah,
also
but
got
when you compare
more
the number of
wins.
matches, right,
Yeah,
right.
he's got more matches than some of them. So like that's counting for a lot, I think. I mean, Austin O'Connor, yeah, he had six wins over guys that All American. He's got a 70% bonus point percentage. Neither guy, I would say, was anything but gracious in any of their victories. I never saw anything that looked anything remotely like unsportsmanlike conduct. Like I think they both knocked that out of the park. But if you're looking at the three of them, I would those the other three categories, I would say Mason Paris is by far the standout winner for the Hodge. Like I don't see how any one of these guys could possibly beat him out for it. He seems the most deserving of anyone.
No, I'm
Um,
right there with you for all the reasons. Double digit pins,
oh
33
yeah, double digit
wins.
pins. Yeah, he had 11 pins. The next most pins by any of these guys was only 7.
Yeah, and I think
So
that was Alvarez who had
yep,
the weakest quality of competition amongst the top three or four that we were comparing here. So
yeah,
um, yeah, I think Paris. I mean, he deserves it. And what's funny is that we could vote. The Win magazine had a fan vote, and
oh yeah.
just pulling on these results right here. I mean, there you have it right there. Mason Paris, clearly number one, over 10,000 votes, probably
I,
11,000 votes. The
wow.
next highest is Carter Sorochi, which I get it, but I think maybe I don't know. I think maybe the sportsmanship
Yeah, I
we're
think that
weighing that a little bit higher than some of these fans that
yeah.
might want to just see him win. Same thing with Andrew
Yeah, and
Alvarez.
he also didn't have one of the higher bonus point percentages. Like Austin O'Connor has a higher bonus point percentage than both Alvarez and Starochi, but like he's below even Yanni.
Right. And I'm surprised to see Austin O'Connor so low in the fan vote. Maybe it's because North Carolina has I don't know, lesser of a fan base, but
Well, or you look at Nino. Even Nino looks like he's got more than Austin O'Connor, and he clearly did not have a dominant
no, he
season.
didn't have a single pin. He didn't pin
Like he had no
anybody.
pins, one tech. Like I don't know. You can give the guy the most dominant award when he clearly didn't dominate. I mean, he beat everyone, which is great. Like, well done. But like, you can't say he's the most dominant guy out there.
No. I think I'd be surprised if this was going to anyone but Mason Paris. This
Yeah,
was
I think
his
it'd be a
season.
travesty if it
He
didn't
turned
go
it
to
on.
Paris.
Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Who do you think deserves the 2023 Hodge Trophy winner.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.